don't think Mr. Drake would care for that very much.
Matilda, you'll be late. So, wait, you've been sat here this whole night? What is this robs you of your rest? Vampires, really? Go, ready yourself.
When the Count comes to London, he makes his lair in Whitechapel, like you.
It's just a bad dream. What was that song, my love? We soothed him before. You know, what about the little girl? You teaching me? It's all right. All right.
Little girl, don't lie to me. Tell me where did you sleep last night?
What sort of song is that for a child?
It works though, doesn't it? Tell me where did you sleep last night?
She's gone. What are you, simple? You didn't keep looking at your goddamn end result.
Careful now, Captain. Nathaniel isn't fond of such invective. Besides, the lady is no rash girlie. I doubt she now rows a skiff to Dunkirk. She will not be far.
You best hope he's right.
Jesus Christ, Caitlin. Have you lost your mind?
I woke. I reached for my son. And my son was not there.
He is safe and he is cared for, and he will be yours again. It's just time, darling.
Come here.
The burden of it is all.
The sun is out, girl. And that face shines out like a ruby in the rubble. I cannot shield you if you will not confine yourself to quarters.
Do not lecture me, Abel. I know the risk I take, and it is a breath of dockside air, not tea at the Savoy.
All fine and fair and understood. But do not snarl. We are fond of you. We'll prefer you safe, where we can see you. Not back on the gibbets, where we cannot. Now, will you return yourself to your bunk, or will Nate here pull you over his shoulder?
You just let him try.
There. Come on, business, sir.
Oh, Inspector Drake, Inspector Reed. It is the new cold store, sir. It's this way.
They may keep meat for 6 months before it spoils.
6 months. Who wants muttons half a year old? Number 25. Says, a word of caution, ain't pretty. God's teeth.
Jackson.
Jackson.
Oh, the American, sir. Yeah, I've banged that drum, Mr. Drake. Ordered that the carbon lights be brought here also.
Man learns. The hanging man's wrists are bound. There's someone else restrained here, therefore. Is there spray? A lot of it, too. Mr. Thatcher.
Yeah.
Whoever sat here was either spirited away or left on their own engine. If the latter, having lost this weight of blood, they will not have gone far.
I'll have the men pick the market clean, sir.
You do that, Sergeant.
Yeah.
Skin penetrated at the jugular. There's the radial beneath the bicep.
This?
It's another Lancing. Older, however. Less precise instrument.
And this is what killed him, the bloodletting.
No ligature marks.
He was strangled, killed. And only then is his blood let.
To what end, however?
The blood is the end. This poor bastard's cadaver's been exsanguinated. Every last droplet siphoned out. Why, do you suppose?
The other party, back to that chair. She's found, sirs.
Get more. Get everything.
Not a puncture wound.
Same method.
No ligature marks either.
She was alive while they tried to siphon blood from her.
But escaped.
She held her neck. She hoped to staunch the blood flow even as she ran for her life.
No defense wounds. Tonsillar pillar, inner mucous membrane undamaged. No hemorrhaging of the capillaries.
Third and fourth. Oh, shit.
And so? What more?
What do you think this is, a crystal ball? Did you find the other?
Young woman, puncture wound here. No strangulation, however.
We'll have Thatcher bring him home. I need my knives.
Where do you go?
About my work, Drake. The hematoma about the man's neck is from a rope. The insides of his cheeks are unbitten. There are no burst capillaries in his eyes, therefore he's not strangled. His neck is fractured clean at the third and fourth cervical vertebrae, and he's at least 120 pounds. Do you see where I'm going yet, Doctor? There's such a break on the neck of a man of such weight, this should drop 7 feet at least. Professional work. Kind of work that puts me in mind of you, Probin. Standing over your hangman's recent execution, pronouncing him dead.
That's impressive police work, Captain. Yet no policeman, you. I wonder, have you shared your expert imaginings with your friends on Lehman Street? No? I wonder why that might be. If not because you fear what I might choose to tell them.
Do you not recall my promise to you, or is it that you doubt my sincerity? Now, will you assist in my inquiry, or won't you? Which recently hanged cadavers have you seen diverted from burial pits no longer than 2 days past? 2 details. His name and where you sent him. Meet Percival Monks. Staved his mother-in-law's head in with a fire iron, got the rope for his troubles. Newgate hanged him yesterday. Sent his body to the London hospital for evisceration.
How have you done this, Jackson?
Just merely read the signs, Inspector. Now, are we moving on, or do you wish me to showboat further?
Oh, no. Please, move on.
Let's see. Scorbutic tongue. Teeth as loose as the keys on a saloon piano. Drake.
Scurvy.
Privations suffered on a migrant's passage, perhaps. Polish. Prayer card. St. Mark 3:11. Curious it isn't English.
St. Mark what? 3:11. Here we are. And unclean spirits, when they saw him, fell down before him.
There's more here, however. You see here, this is indigo staining, and here, that's the mottled scarring of seamstress needles.
She's been sweated.
That'd be my assumption.
Polish Catholics are only recently so visible in the city there. The numbers are not so swollen that finding one such from a Whitechapel sweatshop should be beyond us.
What you say won't make an end of her, Jackson.
I'm not a lost, Drake. Genuinely.
It's not the bloodletting that done for her.
No, not at all. In point of fact, she ain't bled at all.
Can you account for the blood that covered her?
I cannot. The sole wound on her. It's the exact same puncturing of the neck with the same instrument, but it's not been used to drain her. On the contrary, she's, replete.
As we discussed, perhaps it is not the end that is germane. It is not the end, but the means. This is a clean wound, is it not? There's nothing savage. It is precise. One might even say skilled, and whether it is drained or not, it is the blood that is of chief interest here. Why preserve a dead thing? What does it happen to blood when it decays, Captain? It clots, does it not?
Unless you keep it cold, right?
Puncture wounds administered with skill and with clean instruments. An act carried out in the full knowledge of a clinical need for refrigeration.
Such as the cold store at the meat market. This man is executed cadaver. The recent property, we are told, of the London hospital. It is a medical striper man we search for. Mr. Reed, I do not forget what the place once meant to you. Would you take a turn round to London this afternoon? See how it is they misplaced this corpse?
I shall, Inspector.
I shall pay a visit to our Polish community. Sergeant Thatcher. Yes, you and I are out to kick some rocks over. You? You find what killed her.
I cannot fathom why it's allowed to continue unabated, sir. It's a flood of aliens. We need to close the city gates. Can they not take their suffering elsewhere? We've got plenty enough of our own.
All compassion. No, you're not, Sergeant. Just keep the door down, lad. She's a Polish woman, 20 years old. Most likely absent only since last night.
Now, have a look at her photograph here.
Yeah.
She is dead, see? Murdered not half a mile from here. Does she not have one friend who would speak for her?
Do you not look, miss?
Nie. Proszę mnie zostawić w spokoju. Nie widzi pan, że próbuję pracować?
I'm sorry, miss, I don't speak Polish. Oh, you not look, miss?
Please, sir. You need to talk with the foreman.
Pardon me, miss. This wound needs attention. Will you let us see to it?
No. I have made no request for your help. Now, please. The foreman will return Emma's work.
To hell with you, wretched foreman, miss. Come with us.
Zabieraj swoje brudne łapy! Zabieraj swoje łapy! Nie będziesz ty robić mi krzywdę! To boli, chamie! Agnieszka. This was her name.
A friend?
Our mothers were. She was given an address where to find me. I helped her find work.
Captain Jackson, the young lady has an infected wound. Will you mind?
You see a starched cap atop my head, Drake, a high white collar about my neck?
I do not.
Well, then I cannot imagine why he mistook me for a nurse. Bandages and iodine. You know how to use them.
Let me. Basic training. No, sir. Pardon me, miss.
She left not word of where she was going. She just vanished, you say?
If she had left word, it would not have been a vanishing, would it? Now, please, I must leave, or there will be no work when I return. I will starve, and that will be on your conscience, Inspector.
No, miss. You will not talk to me of conscience. That girl down there looked to you for leading. Seems to me you led her nowhere but her death. Now, you wish to leave us, you will speak to me. Or I will arrest you, miss. Put you in a cell and forget for why.
She said only that she had been asked to meet a man. A man who said that she had only to come with him. And she would be paid 1,000 times over what she would make with a needle in her hand.
She was to sell herself.
Spread her legs for money, you mean?
No, I asked her to...
But that was not it. She swore to me. It must be that she was robbed. Killed for the money she earned.
No, miss, it wasn't a robbing of her that caused her death. There was a good deal too much trouble taken for that.
Then if you, a policeman, do not know, I cannot see how I, a seamstress, can help you. Now, may I return to see if I have been discharged from my work?
She returned.
Yes, Inspector. Oh, you missed it then, Johan.
Kraków? I chose to leave. It came to not feel like my home. Home is a kind place, and there was too much unkindness.
So you're happy never to return?
I did not say that. You are from here?
Near enough, yeah.
But when each day you see the street signs and the sun on the Christchurch spire, you know you live where you're from. And are reminded, therefore, of who you are.
I suppose so, yeah.
Those things I miss.
That him? She knows trouble from you, sir. And you will know worse. Huh?
The sight of blood frighten you, Drummond?
Not in small amounts, Captain.
Well, it frightens some, however. It's instinctive phobia. As inescapable a part of any man as Well, his blood itself. You know where Wyoming is, Drone?
He's in America, I imagine.
Take a prize. There's big mountains there. Big, high mountain passes. Full of virgin snow. Yeah, I saw a man. Friend of mine, as it goes. Comanche brave. Put a hunting knife through his guts before I could get a shot out. My friend died. And I'm a doctor, understand, so... Well, the impotence of it. All I could do was watch his blood. Spread through the ice. White world. Made red.
Miss Matilda, your visits are a ray of sunshine.
Here, come, sit. Join me. I am eager to know what latest there is concerning Samuel Drummond. Have you now spoken with him?
I have. But he is, I believe, bashful.
And timidity, so the world insists, is the preserve of our sex. You seek to draw him out, then?
I seek to know him a little. What might make him sad or happy or excited or afraid.
There are means by which you might discover such, Matilda. It is no magic. Merely offer him the opportunity to know something of yours. Show him something about which you might own a passion. See if then he might share his thoughts on it with you.
That is wise counsel. Thank you. There is no one else with whom I might share such questions.
Not your father?
No. Do you travel somewhere, Miss Costello?
Paris. It is no gentle tour, however, but work of a sort. A story hunted down.
Is it related to that photograph you take with you, of the man who was my father's friend?
Who that?
Mr. Isaac Bloom. And the man, the rabbi, Ratovsky, who all thought was killed by Isaac Bloom. He lived in Paris, did he not?
And how would you know such things, Matilda Reed?
My father keeps some of his work at home. On occasion, I'm interested to read it.
Matilda, there are few women who will tell you this, but one of the greatest qualities we might own is that of disobedience.
The moniker Elephant Man was, of course, a showman's adjectival indulgence. Joseph looked no more like an elephant than I do. We are keen, as a race, to throw back, to attribute animal, primal qualities to that which we do not understand. Here, deformity. Elsewhere, perhaps, foreignness. We can describe such conditions to ourselves only in terms that are animalistic. Important then to think not on what separated Mr. Merrick from we, his brother men, but rather what joined him to us. Thank you. Mr. Reed.
Mr. Treves. Hello.
Inspector no more, as I had it.
Inspector yet again, I'm afraid.
Afraid, sir?
Turn of phrase. He was consenting of these, Mr. Merrick?
He was?
His abnormalities sketched to aid the study of our similarities.
Mr. Reed, forgive me, do you come 7 years since your last visit to question my science?
I do not, Mr. Treves. But the dissections carried out here, there are indeed certain questions that I seek answers for. The cadavers that are sent to you from Newgate.
A valuable resource, certainly.
You have records for them?
Of course. My thanks, Martins. Yesterday, you say?
Yes, the name Monks, as I have it.
No, as you see, no such name.
No, indeed. A wasted visit, then.
Oh, never that, Mr. Reed.
Mr. Treves, tell me, the cadaver whose origin I seek, we have him currently. He was found perhaps one day after his Newgate execution. His neck punctured, his body inverted, and it entirely exsanguinated. Now, we're at a means rather than an ends. I know it is not orthodoxy, I understand that, but at the fringes of medical practice, to take blood and then preserve it, what purpose can you imagine for such an action?
Knowledge. To know. Blood is life. How might that life be taken, preserved, handed on?
Mr. Treves.
I always recommend a smoke when you're 2 pints down. Never known a head rush like it. Ah, inspectors. You come for some answers, and now I have a few. Your lady there.
Her name was Agnieszka.
Ah, well, now I know her name. And what killed her.
And so?
It's organ collapse. Almost total internal collapse. Heart, kidneys, bladder, liver. And the cause of that failure is a corruption in her blood. Come see me. Now, you know where the hemoglobin is, Reed, I assume this?
There's a compound which carries oxygen through the blood to the organs.
Ever eager student, this one. Now, this is Agnieszka's blood. Take a look. Her blood ain't carrying nothing nowhere.
That's the organ failure.
Now.
You bled the whole division?
Save you two, almost. Now, I take 2 different samples. Read, make comparison.
It was clotting. The men's blood, meat, and corrupt.
You say then that the blood that covered her as she ran, it was not hers?
But his piped from him into her through the puncture in her neck.
Only she feels her body rebel, the panic of it, and runs.
But why? Why do this? The care taken, it cannot be for cruelty, for death alone. Even the vampire inflicts death so that he may live.
But what if 2 men's blood does not always corrupt? Now, what if my blood is somehow different from yours, but akin to Drake's? But
if I don't have troubles enough.
Thatcher here, for example. Now, I mixed his blood with your hanging man there, Monk's. Take a look. It prospers.
Thatcher, you are a match for him. So together they make life. This earlier lancing you identified, Captain.
The puncture wound infected.
Could this be the means by which a sampling took place?
The pre-selecting of a correlating blood match.
Inspector Drake, the wound I bound on the girl Magdalena is the same infection. Do we say perhaps that Magdalena was the match?
They're not. Agnieszka, who has no such infected wounds. Did she go in Magdalena's stead, therefore?
Her blood, no match. It corrupted, and her death brought down. This man, Monk's here. His sampling could only have happened before his execution for the blood to be alive. Mr. Drummond, run a record search. Magdalena Dubrovsky, 23. I expect you'll find she spent some time behind the walls of Newgate. It is curious, this, Captain. But Mr. Treves' records show no transfer of this man's cadaver from Newgate to the London.
Oh.
We must assume your source corrupted also. Drummond! Yes, thank you. 4 months for the theft of bread.
You find that girl, you bring her back.
I imagine we are to Newgate, Inspector.
Quite so, Mr. Reed. Oh, Jackson, best you come too. Introduce us to that source again.
You lied to me, Probin.
Who did you pass Percival Monk's cadaver to, sir?
The disposal of prison remains is very far from my responsibility, Inspector. The London hospital is where such cadavers are, under normal circumstances, sent. If one has gone astray, then it has not done so from within my remit.
Where is it you keep your needles, Doctor? You have the key about you? Instruments much used, sir. Blunted, in fact.
I am provided with but a modest stipend, Mr. Reed.
I'm sure. Mr. Monks had a needle festival on his arm. No? Here, in the crook of his elbow.
Polish woman, Magdalena Dabrowski. Likewise, Doctor.
To what end such needling, Doctor?
In an enclosed environment such as this, outbreaks of disease are all too common. My duty would be neglected if I did not attempt to contain them by inoculation.
And this? If you please.
No, sir, no, I will not be so suspected. I am a doctor. My entire life given to the care of these incarcerate wrecks and villains. I will have some respect, damn it!
Oops.
Magdalena? Magdalena?
Proszę zabrać ręce, nic nie zrobiłam.
Magdalena! Where is she? Where is she?
As I had it, Frank, you were tasked to return in company, not alone.
John, do you wish me to take that reading machine of yours and bury it in your head?
Not overly, Sergeant.
And stop being a lobcock and tell me where they put probe in.
Hello? Please. I have come as asked.
That is understood. Thank you, Governor Dawson.
His alibi sound?
It is. The night Agnieszka Yanis was killed, Dr. Carlyle Probyn was enjoying supper with the Newgate Board of Trustees.
In any event, I did not have him pinned for this type of work.
One way or another, he is part of this chain, however.
Sirs, you must come.
Where? You tell me where she is. Huh?
Explain yourself, son.
She's gone, sir.
Who has?
Magdalena is gone.
Get out! Captain Jackson to attend an injury in the cells immediately.
Who do you think I am? Some drunken navvy? I am not. I'll have your warrant cards for this. What if I took blood from our inmates? Is there a law that says I cannot? No. I am a public servant.
No, sir. You are an accessory to murder.
You have no option but to release me, and you know it.
Well, let me patch you up at least before you go, huh?
No. They do not improve your health, I believe.
Shit, Probyn. What does? It's superficial. You'll live. No. You do her the honor of looking at her. I thought you were Dr. Probyn. Such sights were humdrum. Then why the discomfort unless you feel some responsibility for her?
I have never once met her.
Not what I'm saying. Now, come closer. This is where he ran the tubing in. Now, you're Magdalena, the one whose blood you took while she served her Newgate time. All of this was meant for her, and it would have been you that sent her there. Her sample. And
And that of the murderer monk here also. You matched him. Shit. Sorry, it's rubbing alcohol. My mistake. Still, there are worse mistakes to suffer, wouldn't you say? By way of example, a transfusion experiment on a girl with the wrong blood. Now, you matched Magdalena and Monks. At whose instruction? A name?
He was French, I believe. He did not give it.
Well, what did he give you?
Money. I promised him more.
And we know how motivated you are by that currency, don't we?
It was for the saving of a child. His child.
And he was a doctor, correct? I mean, he would have had to have been to attempt such a thing with a need to employ another such as yourself, Crow. Did he say he'd been struck off?
No. But I imagine it so.
You know, Proben, I think me and you may yet escape this particular pickle in one piece.
I never had a daughter, you know. I should have liked one, however.
What benefit do you imagine she might have carried?
No ship's head was ever made from the figure of a man. She would have been pleasing to have about the place is all. Kind words, pot of coffee.
Sons do not offer such.
They do not. They're altogether more bother.
The man Nathaniel. He's yours.
My responsibility, I feel, if not my blood. You have a child.
I do not believe he would allow me to rest here ignorant of who I am. Or my monstrous crimes.
Certainly that is true.
They do not trouble you.
The crimes? Should they?
Who is him? One blacker. Felt blacker, I mean. In my heart.
Ah, believe me, child. Many's the fellow to have lost his life on my account. You be calm on this score. Mine is not a place of judgment or justice. I leave such refined notions to others.
Scotland Yard, British Medical Association, French Confederation, Gendarmerie Nationale, all that have been barred in the last 3 years, say. Suggestion for the cause of such barring is illegal transfusion of blood.
Yes, Mr. Reed. Do no harm. It's the first and most abiding maxim by which you practice by.
And yet you have done plenty, Captain. I've seen it.
Only when sorely pressed, and never to a soul that didn't have it coming.
You had a moral imperative.
You want to call it that? I did.
This man, likewise. Child, his child. No sin too great to save her, I imagine.
Perhaps you know how he feels, Reed. Drum? I'm sure I saw a bottle back here somewhere. You hope to get a little reading on you, Sergeant?
No. No, I mean, well, yes, at a quiet moment.
Dracula.
The evil Transylvanian Count. Because all foreigners are dangerous predators set on the parasitic cannibalism of our young women. I shall see this return then, shall I, Sergeant?
Yes, I would. Kind thought, Inspector.
Stop.
It is, sir. French police. There is a pursued felon, sir. Thus the urgency of their response.
And his crime?
His wife found bled out in their Paris home, and neither he nor their daughter seen since.
And his name, Drummond?
Blanchard. Tristan, 48.
His wife? Why would he perform the same experiment on his wife?
Perhaps she was sick also.
With the same disease, an inherited disease of the blood, haemophilia.
That can be bad, but it can be managed with skill and care.
Worse than rarer, incurable even.
Porphyria. It's a discoloration of the teeth, anemia, photosensitivity. Break down to the bones.
One might consider it a moral imperative to seek to spare a child from such suffering. Thatcher! How's your French, Sergeant?
Worse than my Polish, sir?
Simply shout louder. Get a hansom to Albert French Embassy. Wake them. Do not leave until they have provided you with full photographic details of this man, Blanchard.
Mr. Brodsky, I'm relieved to finally meet you in person.
I did not mean to deceive you, sir. Before, I mean.
When you sent another in your name, she who is now gone.
I made a sacrifice for her greater need.
The only mercy is that it was a final trial, else you will now also have the sacrifice of my daughter's life on your conscience. Your life transformed in return for the transformation of my Camille. But you are here now.
They moaned a good deal, sir.
This is because they are French. But as Mr. Reed suggested, I shouted, and they soon packed up their moaning.
No, it's also down to their being French.
May I, Inspector? This man. I have met this man.
Begins now, my Camille.
You'll need a theater.
With me. With me.
We can't just go in there thundering with our irons out.
You tell us why not.
What he does in there is delicate. We jump. If it goes bad, they start to bleed out. They won't stop. Understand? Let me talk to him, Drake.
Sergeant, Sergeant.
Go.
She lost consciousness yet?
Who are you? What do you want?
Has the board of this fine hospital approved the carrying out of discredited medicine by fugitive outlaws?
Are you, police?
It's another physician. Of sorts. I performed the autopsy on the other girl. Saw what catastrophe this science caused to her organs. It's okay, darling. It's okay, darling.
Well, then you know, death was a result of an opportunistic falsehood. This girl will come to no harm.
You take all of her blood, sir. She's gonna die. Now, I expect you didn't tell her that when you struck this deal.
Who is this man, Father?
No. Be still, my Camille. Be still, huh? You trust in me?
Yes.
And rest. Close your eyes.
You can't save her. You can't. Even if this transfusion is completed, the symptoms will only regress for a while. Whatever it is, there's no way yet on Earth found to alter those cards.
No! You step back. What do you know? You judge me, but any father would do the same. This is my life's work. She will recover. She will transform. She will live.
Gentle sir, I beg you, do not do this.
As you wish, sir.
Retreat, get in here! Get out! Thatcher, you're with me. I need your help, man. There's too much blood. There's too much goddamn blood. We're gonna have to try a vessel ligation. Hand me those forceps. For Christ's sakes, man, right there. Forceps!
I can clamp the vessel off, that might buy us enough time. Come on, Beckley. Stay back! How can I let her suffer? Without me, what hope does she have?
There is always hope, sir.
No. In heaven, she will know the love of her mother.
Such love, sir. All that you are, put to the protecting of her. I do not believe you will now do this thing.
God damn it! It's too late. We lost too much. We lost to Thatcher.
No. Look, Captain, take mine. Remember? If I was a match for the hanging man, I'm also a match for her, am I not?
Thatcher, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Hold tight, girl. Frankie Thatcher's coming for you.
Macmillan, I failed you.
Don't you lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines, in the pines, in the cold lonesome pines. When you shiver, when the cold wind blows. Don't you lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night?
It is a song, Bennett. Only a song. And you launch such conclusions at me.
No, Rose, you think you can hide such a truth from me? You cannot! How often? Do not think to lie to me again.
Once a week. In the month since. But it was not planned, Bennett. He found me all frantic with the strain of it. Helped us, brought us home. And then Connery, he calmed with him. And I could not deny him that.
And does the boy? Does Connor know him? I mean, know who he is?
You are the only father he has ever known. The only father he will ever know.
No. I'll see to him. It's all right, lad. I'm here now. It's all right, boys.
Is it that you do not like him?
I barely know him. That is my point. Neither do you.
And yet I like him.
That is a guess, Matilda.
And so instead you would prefer I created experiments to test what matter he is made of?
I might, yes.
But do you not see? This is that experiment.
He appreciates it, or he does not appreciate it. These things are guides for you.
Is that not fair?
Fair? I'm not sure, Matilda. When these human transactions were writ, fairness was not much of a consideration. You make your test, Matilda. But be sure to let me know if he passes or not.
served for a time in Alexandria.
Ah, and grew fond of the blend there.
Quite so. I was not misinformed then. You do have access to the Egyptian brand of tobacco I favor. It has taken me an age to hunt down a supplier.
Well, you may rest gentle, sir. That hunt is now behind you.
Ah.
Mr.
His name's Probyn.
Not a tobacconist.
No. He's a doctor, the Newgate doctor.
I am relieved of my duties now, however.
How have you found me?
How? I am shocked you asked. That husband of yours stalking back into my life with his threats. It is his colleague has me reported and deprived of my work. £200. Otherwise, my own further harm, or no. Your secret will be told, and that wretched son of yours will never see your spiteful little face again.
Abel, I think, on reflection, you should not.
For why? Naught but a dome-headed sack of jelly, this one. No threat, certainly, and I cannot believe it will be missed.
I shall tell you for why, Abel. Between first and second rib, is it not?
It is, my dear. Oh. Knight, 2 oxen and a tarpaulin, if you please.
Speak to me of my son, would you?
Yes. Brandy. Fit for a king. Had the French not done away with such things as kings.
What am I, Abel?
Why? A princess. How now? Why do you weep? Not for him, surely.
The other. The dark secret I spoke of. The last definite death by my hand.
And who he?
My father. He was my father. I killed my father.